Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome you to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Daily Recap, where we give you a recap of all of the hot topics that we covered that day. You can catch them in their long format and also catch it fully streaming for free on Apple Podcasts. As you guys know, yesterday, the bombshell news dropped with a shocking 13-page lawsuit against Shannon Sharpe, essentially accusing him of assault and all kind of egregious and crazy atrocious accusations. So we went live about that. We did a show. People reacted to it. And then Shannon Sharpe put out a response on his Instagram, which we're going to reiterate a little bit later on in this show. We did a show about that as well. So in the midst of all of that, while we were discussing this on the live stream that we did yesterday, I said that the timing of this is very, very problematic. The reason I say so is because, as you guys know, the prior Friday that just passed, the news dropped that Shannon Sharpe was essentially gearing up for a $100 million extension with the Volume Podcast Network, and it's essentially going to be a deal that's comprised of some of the other shows like Jeff Teague's podcast, the show that he has, I think Bumblebees or Buzzbees or whatever the hell it is, in terms like the show with the ladies there. And there was another podcast included as well. So Shannon Sharpe, things were looking up, right? And the reports were he was going to receive a $100 million contract. So when this lawsuit dropped and we heard the amount that he was being sued for, which is $50 million, and the timing of it, I was like, well, what the hell is going on here? And then while we're discussing that, I also said, how does this affect his status on ESPN? Because as you guys know, ESPN is a Disney company. It's owned by Disney. So I was like, well, is this going to affect his status there on the show? Is he going to still be on ESPN? No one knew. So I woke up this morning and I came across an article from Awful Announcing with the following headline saying, Shannon Sharpe to appear on First Take tomorrow amid lawsuit. I'm like, oh, well, it looks like this is not going to have an effect on his status on ESPN First Take. Let's get into this report here. It says Shannon Sharpe will make his regular appearance on ESPN's First Take tomorrow after a civil lawsuit alleging he engaged in sexual assault and battery was made public Monday morning. According to Andrew Marchand of The Athletic, Sharpe will do the show as normal on Tuesday, and he is not expected to address any of the allegations on air. So I just want to quickly read the tweet from Andrew Marchand. It says Shannon Sharpe is going to be on First Take for his regular Tuesday appearance tomorrow morning and is not going to be expected to address the ongoing civil suit, according to a source briefed on the plan. So that's what he said. I just want to quickly read a few other things. It says the 13-page lawsuit, which Sharpe was served on Easter Sunday, alleges the popular sports media personality secretly recorded their sexual encounters without her knowledge, and also outlines 2 alleged incidents of sexual assault. And then it says Sharpe responded publicly online. So I want to get to that momentarily. So I want to read from another article and then read some of what it says. It says Shannon Sharpe's legal team calls lawsuit egregious attempt at blackmail, releases salacious text messages. Mr. Sharpe categorically denies all allegations of coercion or misconduct, especially the gross lie of the R word, and will not submit to what he sees as an egregious attempt at blackmail. A day after Shannon Sharpe was served a 13-page lawsuit by an anonymous plaintiff alleging sexual assault and battery, Sharpe's legal team responded with a statement of its own. The statement posted to Sharpe's account on X, an email to Awful Announcing via a PR team names the anonymous alleged plaintiff and includes text containing salacious messages that the woman whom Sharpe's team alleges is Gabriela Zuniga purportedly sent to Sharpe between October 2023 and January in 2025. Now, I just want to quickly say this, that we're not going to go over those text messages because they're very, very, to be quite honest with you, they're just a little bit too much for YouTube. But I just want to quickly read the tail end of what was posted there. It essentially says these text messages are just a sampling of a broader pattern of graphic sexual communications initiated by Miss Zuniga. The evidence paints a clear picture that it was a consensual adult relationship that included role-playing, sexual language, and fantasy scenarios explicitly requested by Miss Zuniga. The edited tape that Miss Zuniga secretly taped and showed to Mr. Sharpe during her blackmail attempt tries to falsely portray, as a result of the editing and out of context from prior text messages, that the sexual activity was not consensual. But Mr. Sharpe now believes her secret taping was all a part of her planned setup as a part of her blackmail scheme, and as distorted by her editing tape, a copy of which she refused to make available to Mr. Sharpe or his counsel. Mr. Sharpe categorically denies all allegations of coercion or misconduct, especially the gross lie of R, and will not submit to what he sees as an egregious attempt at blackmail. He stands firmly by the truth and is prepared to fight these false claims vigorously in court. He looks forward to vindication through due process and a judgment based on facts and the law. Okay, so you guys know that. Now let me just give you guys some of my thoughts, and it's going to be a little bit of a amalgamation to some of what I said yesterday. Look, I don't know if any of this is true, and this lawsuit doesn't say that this is, like, it doesn't prove that it's true, right? It's all alleged, right? Until this is proven in court, we don't know. I certainly don't know. So let's just get that out of the way. Here's some of the things that stood out to me. First of all, the timing of it. Okay, the timing of it just seemed a little bit too coincidental, given the fact, as I said earlier in the show, that he's in line to get a $100 million contract. And to me, I just don't think you're going to be suing people for money you think they don't have. All right, so if you're suing somebody for $50 million, you must think they have at least $50 million, a little bit more than that. So you got that aspect of it. Another part that I don't think should be overlooked is the fact that one of the lawyers representing her is Tony Busby. Okay, and Tony Busby has a checkered past. He represented the 20 plaintiffs that came against Deshaun Watson. That's number one. Number two, he was also part of that Diddy Jay-Z lawsuit. He was the one that came forward with this witness or whatever that said that, or this plaintiff that came out and said that Jay-Z and Diddy art her, just to find out later on that it was all a lie. It was all made up. Absolutely made up. And Jay-Z called him an ambulance chaser. As a matter of fact, it's important that we say this. Jay-Z said as a result of some of his crazy antics on the part of Tony Busby, it cost him a $20 million contract, which he's going to have to make Jay-Z whole. So Tony Busby right now is looking for money. I'm not saying that that's what it is, but we also have to look at the person in question. Tony Busby isn't a signal of virtue, right? So when I heard his name, I began to get a little bit skeptical about all of this. Now, again, I'm not saying that I know what took place here, but that part stood out to me. And finally, I'll say this. That situation with that ridiculous audio that was leaked of Shannon Sharpe having hoo-ha time with whatever Lady Michelle was, I said that was a gross mistake. Now, Shannon said it was a mistake, but then came on Nightcap that's the following evening or the same evening promoting a sex product and was bragging about the fact that, man, I'll put it down. And I'm like, bro, what are we doing here? You're above this. And I think that whenever you put yourself in those type of spaces, you open up yourself to this kind of nonsense. And what the lady said in the lawsuit is that he recorded me without my consent. Listen to this. So given the fact that we already have a situation like this with recordings and all of that stuff, it paints a picture of somebody that is in the realm of this type of activity. And I said that was a gross misstep. Some people got at me, oh, you're hitting on me. I'm like, nah, man, you're too big for that. You don't need every bit of press. But some people, no. A lot of us thought that was just a bunch of hogwash, that entire story going live. So look, to me, there are a lot of question marks surrounding this case. What we're doing here is just giving you guys an update that Shannon Sharpe's status on ESPN First Take will not be affected. So as you guys know, the Lakers just came off of a game one loss against the Minnesota Timberwolves where they beat them by 22 points. Somebody asked me the other day, man, why aren't you talking about the loss from the Clippers? I'm like, yeah, the Clippers lost by 2 points, my boy, in game one. The Lakers lost by 22. Who do you think deserves more fire? The Clippers or the Lakers? Like, let's be for real, right? So it was a pretty bad loss in that game. Luka essentially had no help, right? Luka had no help. Luka scored 37 points on 54% shooting from the field, 50% shooting from the three, 89% shooting from the three-point line. He got 8 rebounds, 1 assist, because none of these jokers on the floor with him could even assist the guy at any point in time. And then he had 2 steals. He did have 5 turnovers, but my God, what else do you want this guy to do, right? So LeBron and these guys have definitely not stepped up. So going into this series, however, everybody was up there twerking it up all over the place, pouring honey all over each other's bellies, hollering and screaming, just disturbing the peace, shaking tables, trying to pull people to the floor. Ones was flying everywhere. About some, hey man, the Lakers gonna do it. Not certified, not jive, Lakers in 5. You remember that stupidity, right? And people actually thought that was a real basketball take. I'm like, you guys can't be serious. You just cannot be serious. And now all of a sudden people are shocked when they got the doors blown off of them. It's like, yeah, you actually gotta analyze these games, folks. You also got to realize that the Minnesota Timberwolves were one of the hottest teams to close out the regular season. Or were you guys not paying? Oh, you were too busy listening to these guys twerk it up on TV all day long, hollering and screaming. Oh, I mean, the Lakers going to do it. The Lakers going to do it. I was like, all right. People talk about, oh, man, yeah, the Wolves, they shot 50% from the three. So, I mean, they hit 21 threes. So what we're going to do? Did Anthony Edwards play well? He didn't even play a quarter. So if people don't get out of this denial phase and deal with the reality, y'all going to be down 0-2 talking about some damn, hey, man, we still got it, right? So you got that going on. A lot of people have been surprised by that because they picked the Lakers to win and they thought it would be a huge storyline. But one of the people that came out yesterday and said that if the Lakers lose, it would be an absolute disaster was Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley was on Inside the NBA, and he essentially said that if they lose this series, Luka and LeBron go out in round 1, man, it's going to be unlike something we have never seen before. So what we want to do is want to quickly play what Charles had to say. It's only about a minute or so sound bite, and then we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to Charles Barkley here.
Well, clearly, I think it's a must-win for the Lakers. I mean, they have a lot to ride. And
yeah, the only home team tomorrow night.
No, but I'm not even talking about just that. I'm talking about, like, if you get Luka Doncic and LeBron James losing the first round of the playoff, that's a bad season. I mean, that's a bad season. Everybody's gave them the win and the trade, but if they lose in the first round, that's going to be a really bad look for them. But I think they're the one team that I say. Because I don't think Milwaukee can win that series without Dame. And in OKC, that series is a wrap.
Sweep.
Yep. I don't even think it's going to be a gentleman's sweep. I think it's going to be a 4-0. He'll beat them 10 times in a row.
It's a ratchet sweep.
Yeah, just a ratchet sweep.
So you heard what Charles Barkley had to say. What are my thoughts on this? First of all, it would be a disaster on many fronts. Let's address it from the NBA standpoint. The NBA wants the Lakers to be in the finals. I think that if they could have it their way, it would be the Lakers and the Celtics in the finals. That's number one. So from the NBA standpoint, from a money-making standpoint, it would be a disaster. Don't forget, Luka Doncic had the number 1 selling jersey this season. The number 1 selling jersey, and think about the time that he did it in. I mean, I'm sure a lot of those jersey sales took place when he got to LA. So you have that aspect of it for the NBA. You have the aspect of it for the future of the team. Let's think about it this way. The Lakers' future is uncertain, and I'm going to tell you why. LeBron James is 40 years old. And Luka, maybe some people have forgotten, Luka can walk this summer in free agency. So this is why I be sitting back watching all of these dumbass creators online that call themselves Laker fans constantly hating on Luka. I'm like, you need to shut the hell up. That's what you need to do. You need to have 1,000 seats, my guy. Have a seat, son, and relax. Because if Luka walks, you have no future. You have no future. So y'all better do everything in your power to twerk it up as much as you can so Luka stays. If the Lakers lose, you better not point a single finger at Luka because he's all you got. AD is gone. LeBron is 40 years old. So the people that trying to make it a Luka thing, they're not Laker fans. They're just jealous-ass LeBron fans that can't stand the fact that another player is getting more of the limelight than he is. that another player is being called the best player on the team that LeBron, they can't handle it. And since they can't handle it, all they do is hate on Luka. I've never seen a situation where you, on the one hand, want LeBron to win, but then you're hating on his teammates. And then it became clear to me, you don't even care about the team LeBron is on. All you care about is LeBron James. You don't even care about the team. You don't even care about the team. It's all what's good for LeBron James. You got people making videos about Luka this and Luka that, Luka that. Luka was just in the finals last year. Where was LeBron James? Where was he at? Was he not at home after the first round? Luka's a top 5 player in the world. What are we talking about right now? He's carrying the Lakers. Carrying them. They did nothing for him in game. Nothing for him. So all these people hating on Luka, y'all need to relax. Because if they lose, and they can lose, and y'all start going, oh, Luka did this, Luka did. If I'm Luka, I'm packing my bags and say, you know what, I'm out. I'm out. Y'all can have this. I'm out. Luka was just getting ready to get a home in Dallas. So it wasn't like as if Luka was dying to go to LA. He was getting ready to get a home in Dallas. He never told you dudes he wanted to be in LA so he could leave. And if I'm Luka and I start hearing any nonsense or peep out of one of these dudes, I'm out. You have LeBron James, and let me know how y'all going to do in the future. So a lot of these people saying that need to be quiet. Number one. Number two. Number three. If you're LeBron James, this is a stain on your legacy. Yet again, you're playing with another incredible NBA player. You're playing with one of the top 3 to 5 players in the NBA, and you can't make it out of the first round again? You can't make it out of the first round again? What does that say about you? I thought you the GOAT. All I heard were these crazy-ass LeBron fans. If Michael Jordan the GOAT, why he couldn't make the playoffs? Well, if LeBron is the GOAT, why he can't make it out? Why he can't win the championship with Luka Doncic? Why he can't win the championship with Luka Doncic? This is what I be hearing from you, man. Jordan was washed and da-da-da. Well, since LeBron ain't washed, what is he going to do with Luka? Not a damn thing. Not a. That's why I told you, man, you trying to argue with LeBron fans don't have logic. They don't have even these guys that think they pseudo smart, all of them. Winnie the Pooh and they have no logic. None whatsoever. I've heard them reason. They have no logic. They have no logic. All Winnie the Pooh be doing is up there twerking for NBA players. Look how happy he be looking online with these dudes. He looks so happy. I never knew this dude had 500 teeth in his mouth, as much smiling that he was doing sitting next to Gilbert Arenas. And I'm like, yo, son, what's going on, man? Why you got dudes making you blush like that? Like, what's going on, son? Like, why are you blushing so hard for these dudes? So, to me, look, the Lakers, if they lose, it will be a disaster. Let's keep it a buck. And I'm going to be looking at LeBron sideways like, if you the GOAT, like some of these crazy-ass fans you got me saying, why can't you do better? Or you need everybody, I guess. Let's talk about my man Kawhi Leonard and them damn Clippers. So as you guys know, Kawhi Leonard is my favorite player, but it's been a tough 5 years supporting him, given all the injuries, the load management, the disappointing flameouts in the playoffs over the last 2 seasons in terms of him being injured. You go back 2 seasons ago, he played fantastic, like excellent in the first 2 games against the Phoenix Suns, and then out of nowhere, we hear that he's injured and he won't be able to go continue on in the playoffs. That was heartbreaking. And last year, looked like things were going to work out, and then he got injured right before the playoffs. And I'm like, man, when will this stop? So coming into this season, there's a lot of skepticism on my part. And I was just like, man, you know what? I'm not going to talk about Kawhi Leonard for the majority of the season because I know most of our audience just won't want to hear it because they're like, bro, like let him come back and do something for us to talk about. Well, folks, that's what he did last night. That is exactly what he did last night. And let me tell you something. The performance that Kawhi Leonard put forward yesterday is one of the greatest performances I have ever seen by anyone in a playoff game. Ever. The guy scored 39 points, but that's not the incredible part. What was incredible was his efficiency and what was on the line. It was a game 2 that they needed to have. The Clippers had basically put all their hope and trust in this guy, and now was the time for him to deliver and step up. And let me tell y'all something. That is exactly what he did. In that game, Kawhi Leonard scored 39 points on 79% shooting from the field. 79. At one point, for a very good stretch of that game, he was shooting 90% from the floor. 91% for a good portion of that game. He shot 57% from three, 100% from the three-point line, and had a spectacular defensive play at the end of the game to essentially ensure the victory. And if we look at Kawhi Leonard's stats thus far, obviously it's still early in the playoffs. He's playing 40 minutes a game, scoring 30.5 points per game on 70% shooting, 50% shooting from three, 100% shooting from the free throw line in the playoffs, while getting you 4.5 rebounds, 3.5 assists. His turnovers are quite high at 4 turnovers, but getting you 2.3 steals a game with a plus minus of 2 per game. So Kawhi Leonard has been having a fantastic playoff run thus far. And at the end of the game, the Inside the NBA crew reacted to the game. Of course, they had Charles Barkley, Kenny Smith, Ernie Johnson, and Shaquille O'Neal. So when it came time for Charles Barkley to kind of assess the state of affairs of this particular series, Charles Barkley said that he believes that the Nuggets are in trouble after Kawhi Leonard's Game 2 masterpiece.
I think the Nuggets are in trouble for the simple fact the Clippers, as good as they are, they play even better at home. Their role players play much better at home. And obviously Kawhi, I think probably the one problem with Kawhi, I actually think one of the reasons he gets hurt is he doesn't play enough. I don't think he develops, people say get calluses and get that endurance in your body. So when he comes back, he always plays great, and then his body gives out. I wonder how long he's going to be able to sustain it, because every time he comes back, he plays great, and then he gets hurt again. But, man, I tell you, I've never seen a guy come back and don't have rust whatsoever. Yep. I mean, he is so efficient. He goes at his pace. He's a nightmare matchup because, you can't put a little guy on him and you can't put a big guy on him. But, listen, Powell, Derrick Jones, Zubats, all those guys, they play much better in L.A., so if the Nuggets cannot win one of this next couple games, this series is going to be quick.
Fantastic. So you heard what Charles had to say there. So I also want to play a little bit of what Kawhi Leonard had to say during the post-game interview, where they asked him, like, man, it's been a long journey here for you to get back to this point. How does it feel to be playing at this level right now? And what's your outlook for this series as it goes back to Inglewood when the Clippers return home? So I want to quickly play what Kawhi Leonard had to say there.
Well, James was just in here and he was saying that you don't get the appreciation that you deserve for coming back time and time again from injuries. I know you don't particularly pay attention to what's said about you, but what does it mean to have teammates like him, teammates like everybody else in that locker room who do see the work that you put in every single day and appreciate it and are able to help you get back to have a game that you had tonight?
Oh, it's great. Like you said, anybody in the business, that's playing and knows how hard it is to either come back from an injury or just even playing in the NBA. They understand, what we all go through, what I go through, and to see that from your peers and hear that from them is great. I told several people before, just thanks for helping me through stuff in time, with injuries.
And after game one, you mentioned that just the aggression was one of the things that stood out to you with the turnover issues that you had. Obviously, you came out really aggressive early in this game. How much of a point of emphasis was that, and how did you feel you were able to get to your spots and be aggressive?
I think I made shots tonight, shot a little bit more than I did last game, but it wasn't about that. You know what I mean? Some of my turnovers last game was just being aggressive and, trying to save the ball or getting rebounds, getting pushed out of bounds. So, the one that stuck out to me was this, obviously up one and getting it tipped off my head, but it was just great defense by them. So I just wanted to come out and get a win.
Well, when you're out there in a game like this, I think you make your first 6 shots, and you miss one, then you make 6 more. I mean, were you aware that you were on that kind of a roll, being inefficient out there?
I'll just keep playing, try to stay in the zone, no matter if I'm missing or making shots. Trying to go to the next play, and that's it. Just focused on the next play and trying to win, get to my spot and shoot, and just live with the outcome, whatever game it is, how good or bad it's going.
Kawhi, you're right. How much you've got this wealth of playoff experience? Like you've had good games, you've had bad games. Like how much do you reach back into what you've done to help prepare you for things that you need to do in current?
It's always a different situation for me. Next game is going to be like no other game. You know what I mean? It's what's in front of me, and that's what I'm approaching. All I know is that I've been there before. I've been here, and like I always say, as long as you're playing hard and having fun, you can live with the outcome. Just leaving it all on the floor.
So you heard everything that Kawhi Leonard had to say. What are my thoughts so far? Look, I said it in the live that we did yesterday after the game, and I'm going to reiterate my sentiments here. I said on any given night in a playoff game, Kawhi Leonard could be the best player on the floor. Watching that game yesterday, at no point in time did anybody say that, man, Nikola Jokic is on a totally different plane than Kawhi Leonard. When Kawhi's on his game, I've said this, I used to say it many times in the past, and I'm going to say it again maybe for the people that never heard. There's no other player going into the playoffs when they're healthy that I'd rather have on my team than Kawhi Leonard. There's nobody. You can have the Joker, you can have Giannis, you can have Luka, you can have SGA, you can have LeBron, you can have whoever, you can have Jason Tatum, you could have Anthony Edwards, you could have whoever you want to have. Give me a healthy Kawhi Leonard, and I'm going to roll the dice. The reason I'm saying that is, number one, he's a big-time player. He's a clutch player. He's going to play defense, and he's going to be efficient. Give me this guy every single time, and he can beat you in so many ways. It's also important that I say this. A major component of the Clippers' success this season has been the development of Ivica Zubac. Ivica Zubac's development and improvement this season is one of the reasons they are where they are right now. It would be totally foolish of me to not mention Ivica Zubac. Ivica Zubac this year, you can make an argument as an all-NBA caliber player. He is a much improved offensive player. You can just see it in his game. He's a much improved defensive player, and his rebounding has really taken his rebounding to another level. And the fact that now he has become a legitimate post threat to score and be a defensive anchor for the team, it has given them a different complexion. And now you have two legitimate players that you can post up at any time during the game, in Ivica Zubac and Kawhi Leonard. I think the development of Ivica Zubac cannot be overlooked. Norman Powell helped carry the offense earlier this season, and then before the All-Star break, and then he hasn't really been himself, although he had a breakout game yesterday. James Harden has been the steady hand all season long, but I think Ivica Zubac has been the X factor. But in terms of a healthy Kawhi Leonard, well, you see, right? You see, and to me, I feel like it's justified for me to give Kawhi Leonard his praise, and everybody should get the hell out of my way because son deserves it. This is the best performance we've seen thus far in the playoff. It's early. I mean, it's really, really early. But thus far, this man is putting it, like, he is doing his thing, right? And we even put up a poll about an hour ago on the channel. You can go and vote on it, where I said, who has been the best player so far these playoffs? I gave 4 options: Luka, Kawhi, Jokic, SGA. About out of the 1,000 people that have voted, 6% went for Luka, 67% went for Kawhi, 16% went for Nikola Jokic, and 11% went to SGA. So look, man, the series is going to shift back to LA, and I expect Kawhi Leonard to remind the world just how excellent of an NBA player he is, and I just cannot wait.